What up, guys? It's Rook here, drummer from Machine Gun Kelly, and you're listening to Sellouts, the podcast for MGK fans, by MGK fans, presented by Pink Fucks. Let's go!
Dirty ass chucks and a bad bitch lace up. Welcome to another episode of Sellouts, the podcast for MGK fans, by MGK fans, presented by Pink Fucks. I'm your host, Mike Kyle, and today I am joined by Brittany Eberhardt. Brittany, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah, and it was cool. Just kind of, I loved it. I love doing this because just in like the time that it takes to really like get this whole thing set up, we get to talk for about 5 minutes or so. And just in that brief time talking to you, you went through the site, you went through the Instagram, you listened to other podcasts, and you were like, you came in here ready to go. So this is gonna be a good episode.
Yeah. I try to do my research, make sure, I'm on top of things,
Yeah. Absolutely, and you're also like me in Charlotte, so we got some connection there as well.
Exactly.
Cool. All right, Brittany, first question for you is, how did you become a fan of MGK?
I actually discovered him on DatPiff back when I was like 14. The first two songs of his that I ever heard were Chasing Pavements and
Goated.
that like Chasing Pavements. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, but I loved it. And my mom went completely blank about the second one, dear Jesus.
It's all right.
Chip off the block. Sorry. I'm like thinking of all the songs. So Chasing Pavements and Chip Off the Block, and I was on DatPiff, and I'm like, oh, this is different. So I just started going through and listening to everything of his that I could find there, and I was like, yeah, I can rock with this dude. I really like this music. So I kind of started then, and I was like, oh yeah, his music's great, and let me do a little bit of research and all that, and I'm looking, and obviously he is physically attractive to the masses, so that just furthered the not obsession, but definitely the desire to learn more, know more, and listen more, and stay around for the evolution, because the evolution is physical, and obviously you see it through his music and just his personality in general.
Yeah, absolutely as well. And if people don't know what DatPiff is, because we're probably of that age where we know,
Yeah.
but other people may not. DatPiff was basically this platform specifically for mixtapes and singles. Think of SoundCloud, but honestly better, where you could get somebody's entire mixtape or EP from. And so if you've ever downloaded an MGK mixtape like Lace Up, 100 Words and Running, Black Flag, you probably got it off of DatPiff. So I love that you were able to bring that back, because talk about a wave of nostalgia for me.
Yeah, right. It brings back memories for me too. I'm like, oh gosh, sitting in my bed, just listening to the music and having my dad be like, turn it down. I'm like, it's not, it's on my laptop. It can't be that loud,
Yeah, and it's crazy if you really think about it, because there is still an existence and a need for it, because not every artist has all of their music on Spotify or Apple Music or YouTube, wherever you listen to music. It's not always there. And so, you'll have the albums, because, from the record labels and things like that, but a lot of artists don't actually go back and upload those mixtapes to those platforms.
Yeah.
So your only way to still listen to a mixtape like Lace Up or 100 Words and Running is through a platform like DatPiff. So what a great callback, and there's still a need for it today.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I love it. I still use it.
Cool. So let's talk now, favorite albums, things of that nature. You came in really early, Chasing Pavements. You want to talk about a deep cut, and probably somewhere, if I had to rank everything in my top 10, I think it may crack the top 10. I love it that much, so I love that song. What are some of your favorite MGK albums, or the things that you like most about his music, kind of as a collective?
I think Hotel Diablo is definitely right up there, top 3. Tickets to My Downfall, of course, I loved it. I loved I don't want to say like switch, because there wasn't really, it didn't feel like a switch.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were so many like similarities in Hotel Diablo. You could see that transition kind of was being made already. And I like tickets. I loved it so much. Obviously, like mainstream sellout, definitely love, 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 love. I think Binge is a really underrated album. I think a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, he just kind of threw it out like just to, just throw something out there. And
It's
I'm
me.
like, I love it.
It's me. I'm people.
And that's okay. That's okay. And that, a lot of the times like artists do things like that, to keep
Mm-hmm.
fans engaged. And but I love it. I think it's so underrated. I listened to the whole thing yesterday, and I just the see like I said, seeing the evolution from the beginning until now is so great, because he's so diverse. And it's like, if you can't find a song, or at least one song, from MGK that you like, then I'm not sure what kind of music you really like. Like, do you even
Mm-hmm.
like music at that point?
Mm-hmm.
Because there is just such a huge selection there. Like, he does a little bit of everything. You get hype, you get, like sad, you get obviously always real, and you get, the rock. Like, it's great. Like, it's great. Indescribable.
Yeah, I love that you say that you can get hype and you get all these different kinds of music. Because for
Yeah.
me, that always has been my argument as to why he is my favorite artist, because I could fundamentally create a playlist based on any mood or any genre, kind of, right, to a degree. And I have a collection of at least 5+ songs in each of those playlists. And so for me, it's almost like, why listen to anybody else when I can get everything I need from the same artist? And like, that's super cool to me.
Yeah, MGK is pretty much all I listen to.
Mm-hmm.
And if, some other stuff gets thrown in there, like, I'm like, okay, cool, but that's, my Apple Music is just everything that I can, like, everything that's his on there, that he has out there. It's just, I throw it into the playlist, and the MGK playlist comes on. As soon as I get in my car, it just starts and it shuffles. So I'm going through, everything that I can, and I keep it on that, because like I said, there's something, like, it shifts your mood on its own. The music
Mm-hmm.
itself just shifts your mood, and there's something for I feel like there's something there for everybody.
I couldn't agree with you more on that. You've seen him in concert before.
Oh
I
yeah.
know that for a fact. But you just said, "Oh yeah," pretty confidently. How many times have you seen him in concert?
So unfortunately, I didn't get to see him until uh, December 2021,
Right.
for the tickets to my Downfall tour. So we went to Cleveland for that.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first concert of his, and I was just floored. Absolutely amazing. I had never been to any other concert that was anything like that. Never had such a good time in my life. Never met such great people ever. Like, just the atmosphere was amazing. Everybody was, you know, a family. And then I saw him in Charlotte for, mainstream sellout. The very next night, my one of my really good friends, she called me up. I was still like, in my clothes from the night
You went to
before.
Raleigh, didn't you? You went to Raleigh the
Yeah.
next night, didn't you? Yes,
Yeah,
we did the same thing. We did the same thing.
I was still in my clothes from the night before, and we were
Mm-hmm.
picking up my son from my dad's house, and she called me, and she was like, "Hey, I bought 3 tickets, because she wanted to take her son to a show
Mm-hmm.
of his." And she was like, "I bought 3 tickets. Do you want to go with us? Like, we're gonna leave in like an hour." And I was like, "Yes, like, let me get ready right now. Like, I'm good, And we went to Raleigh
Mm-hmm.
that night, and that Charlotte and Raleigh were, they were both great shows. I
Yeah.
did like Raleigh more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I felt like the energy was a lot better. As far as like his energy, it seemed better. Like he seemed, at Charlotte, he kind of seemed
Okay.
like, maybe something happened. He might have been in like a little bit down,
Hmm.
or whatever. But either way, they were both great shows. I met a lot of great people at both of them. And then we went to Cleveland, for, that show. And so that was my second time in Cleveland. And that was my birthday present. So,
Oh.
go to Cleveland and see him there. And oh my freaking gosh, I don't think I'm trying to figure out if he can top that. Like I'm in brain like, can he top that experience? Because that was just that whole, it was like an out of body experience being there. And I, it's hard to, I have so many videos and all that, and it's hard to even kind of look back and remember the exact emotion that you felt like at the time, because it was just so real and so raw from everybody, and especially him.
Yeah, I don't think, at least Cleveland wise, I don't think he can top it. Like
Yeah.
that in Cleveland, performing at the Brown Stadium, sold out, like that is the pinnacle in that city. The only other thing I can think of is if he did a concert like on the lake, like where they set up a stage literally in the water.
Yeah.
Other than that, like Brown Stadium sold out, that's it. So check that off the box and off the bucket list for sure. And I love that you were able to make that trip up there. We did the exact same thing because that was a can't miss event for us.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then even the after party, at
Hmm.
Forward, like it was pretty much a whole, like a second concert.
Hmm.
And that was awesome as well. Like it, and getting to, talk to him a little bit at the after party, and, just kind of see the vibe, see how he interacts, like, around his
Hmm.
people and all that, and the way that he interacted with all of the fans and everything, the people that were there, and especially like all the ones that stuck around until 5 a.m. when they were
Yeah.
like, shit, like it was really cool. It was super
Hmm.
cool. Definitely
Yeah.
unforgettable.
Yeah, and you were actually able to meet him too after the Charlotte show because we were
Yeah,
both in the
exactly.
Nine Lives music video.
Yeah, yeah. When I tell you that when the video dropped and I watched it, and I literally screeched when I
Hmm.
saw myself. I was like, "Oh my God."
Hmm.
And my boyfriend loves MGK as well. But he was not like, fangirling, and he wasn't
Yeah.
as excited as I was. He was like, "What are you screaming about?" I'm like, "I'm in an MGK music video. Like, I'm right
Hmm.
here. I'm right here." Like my friend and I are like, "We're right here." It was so exciting. Like so I told everybody. I was like, "Yep, I made it in," and that just kind of, it just kind of goes to show even more so how much he cares about his fans, how much we
Hmm.
mean to him, because he, that and the Life and Peak documentary, like that, there's so much fan footage,
Hmm.
and it just, like I said, it just showcases how much he appreciates his fans. And he says all the time he knows he wouldn't be where he is today without the fans.
Hmm. Yeah, I remember when the music video dropped. I was in Vegas, I think, because he just randomly like just dropped it at like noon on like a Thursday or something. I was in Vegas and I was out by the pool, flex, and
Mm.
I watched it and I didn't like think anything of it. But then I watched it back in the hotel room, and that like, cause it's only like a 3-second clip from Charlotte
Yeah, right.
that gets in, and the clip plays, and I'm like, I'm like, that was Charlotte. I'm like, wait, I'm like, something in my head, like a switch went up, and it was like I was there, and so I go back and I'm watching because I'm only in it for like 3 frames, and like so then I put it on like 0.25 speed, and I'm watching it frame by frame, and then I'm like, there I am, and I just start texting everybody that we made the cut. So
That
that was really really cool.
that's pretty much exactly what I did. And I was like, "Oh, I'm in the front, like with a
Hmm.
black flag, like tied around my neck, like, jumping up and down, like looking
Hmm.
crazy, whatever." But I was like, it was just awesome. It was such a cool moment for me.
Yeah. And were you able to talk to him
He,
during that? Because he was just kind of like out, like,
yeah, he wasn't really
high-fiving people
talking.
that were out there. Right,
And
exactly.
we got to high five. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm never gonna wash my hand again. Obviously, I did, but I was like, I was super happy about that. But you know, it, it there wasn't. Yeah, we hung around even for a while after
Hmm.
that, just in case. But yeah, we didn't get to, unfortunately, like, didn't get to talk to him, really then, except for like, being acknowledged that like he was being spoken to.
Hmm.
And that alone was just the fact that he takes the time after the shows to come out and like, see the people that are standing out there waiting for him and just acknowledge that we even exist is
Hmm.
just awesome to me. I've never been
Yeah.
to a show that for any other artist that's done that. I mean, obviously, I'm sure they do it, but anything that I've ever been to, I've never experienced that.
Yeah.
So
Hmm. You said something pretty interesting when you were talking about just like going to the concerts over the past 2 years, and that was that, just like meeting people around you, right? Meeting fellow members of EST, meeting other MGK fans. It's actually one of the comments that my girlfriend made at her first concert was just like, everybody here is just like so nice. And
yeah,
like she like couldn't believe it, where it's like, we're like in our seats or whatever, and everybody around us is talking to us, and she just like couldn't really believe that. So for you, you've been here at this point in OG for a decade plus. Seeing where we were to where we are now, between EST, him as a whole, like, what does it all like really mean to you?
exactly. Exactly what it stands for. Everyone stands together. It is a family, and I feel like it's a huge family of people that all have something in common, and that commonality allows us to connect with each other on much deeper levels and create bonds and super amazing friendships with people because of because we like or love an artist. And that to me is just it's like it's crazy. I haven't experienced that with other artists, fan bases that that I listen to. So for everybody to just like band together and just be like, yeah, like we're here for we're here for the family. Like everybody just somebody needs help, like people are so everyone's so willing to offer up that help. You need somebody to talk to, like you want to meet up because you're alone, you don't you're having an issue, somebody's every now and again, you get at shows, people get a little bit rowdy, and you've got like 10 other people that are like, hey, like chill out, calm down, and it's not crazy. So it's so much more calm and loving. It's loving. That's really the best way that I can describe that.
That was perfectly said, and a great note to end on. But before we get out of here, Brittany, we like to play a game around here. 5 rapid-fire MGK questions. It's not trivia. It's not a gotcha game. It's more so a this or that. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. And actually for this, I'm cool because you're an OG. I'll switch this up a little bit, okay? So I'm going to name an album, and you're going to tell me your favorite song off the album, okay?
Okay, let me see if I can make sure my mind doesn't get all jumbled.
All right. And if it gets all jumbled, no worries. I'll help you out, all right?
Sounds good.
Let's go all the way back to the Lace Up album.
Oh my Lord. I'm gonna have to go with like lace up, like in general, like that's you. I don't feel like it gets much better than that.
Yeah, and that's the song that we started the episode with, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
All right, let's go to general admission.
Ooh, that one is difficult. because I always get those songs mixed up with, like, a little bit mixed up with Hotel Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying so hard to think right now. I'm like going through the discography in my mind. I'm drawing a blank simply because like I cannot I'm like having trouble like deciphering between the different albums. So my
Okay.
bad.
Okay. No worries. So shall I help you out a little bit?
I Yeah, that's refresh my memory. That would be
Let let
yeah.
let's do it. All right. So all right, Brittany. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do some editing magic on this. All right.
All right.
So I'll start from the beginning of like that let's play game, and I'm gonna give you two songs. You're gonna tell me the one that you like better. Okay.
Oh yeah, great.
Cool. All right. So let's just take it from that spot. All right, Brittany, we like to end every episode off with a different, kind of game show segment. Sometimes we do 5 rapid fire MGK trivia questions, but instead for this, because you're an OG, I want to play a this or that MGK song game with you. Are you cool for that?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
All right, let's go off of the Lace Up album. Between the actual song Lace Up and See My Tears, which song are you picking?
Dependent upon mood, but hype, lace up every time.
Okay, there we go. And it's always going to be dependent upon mood. It's two very different songs. So let's close that by picking two very similar songs. What if we did Alpha Omega off of General Admission or Till I Die?
I love them both, but I'm gonna have to go with Till I Die.
All right. Hotel Diablo, Floor 13 or El Diablo?
Floor 13 all day, every day.
All day, every day, she says with confidence. Let's go to Tickets to My Downfall. Do we want to do... God, so many great options. What if we did Forget Me Too and My Ex's Best Friend?
My ex's best friend.
All right, and then final question off of Mainstream Sellout. It's always fun. I get to choose the songs for this, and I need to like do them based off of your energy and which songs I think you like the most. So what if we did? Yeah, let's just go off the top. Let's go Born with Horns or God Save Me.
God Save Me. Yeah.
Is that your
God Save
favorite?
Me.
You said that pretty confidently.
Yeah. It resonates with me so hard. So it's like he says all the words in that song that like I can't put into words. So love it.
Well, perfect. And Brittany, that about does it. Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I had so much fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for listening or watching, whether that is on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or on YouTube. I greatly appreciate it regardless. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe so you never miss another episode. And you can use promo code SELLOUTS at checkout at pinkfucks.com to receive 10% off of your purchase. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next episode.